The UK is an island nation. Our lifeline to the world is the sea. Tankers transport fuel. Container ships bring us essential supplies. And cruise liners carry holidaymakers near and far. But who are the faces behind these fleets? Meet the Merchant Navy. Britain has a rich seafaring history. During the Second World War, our merchant navy was the largest in the world. The convoy system helped prevent ships being sunk by German forces. Many vessels were lost, but the bravery of merchant sailors meant Britain received vital supplies. Now times are less treacherous, but the merchant navy still faces challenges. Its crews must work to tight deadlines, protect precious cargoes, and negotiate their way through the world's busiest waters.
Oh, he's put his foot down now, hasn't he? Crossing ahead of us now.
Merchant seafarers also need the know-how to navigate narrow routes like the Panama Canal.
You've got to be tucked into the side and the back end was off a wee bit. Dead slow ahead.
And without the expertise of engineers, these fleets would go nowhere.
They say the bridge is the brains of the ship, and I would consider this as being the bowels of the ship. And if your bowel stops working, then it affects your brain, your eyesight, your hearing, everything.
Today's merchant mariners begin their careers with training courses at 9 colleges across the UK. These include Glasgow College of Nautical Studies and Warsash Maritime Academy in Southampton, where 285 recruits are training to become the cream of the merchant navy.
It's real, it's dangerous.
There are sponsored courses in 3 areas: engineering, electronics, and for aspiring captains, deck operations. It can be a lucrative career with eventual earnings of up to £65,000 a year, tax-free.
Boom, and that's the healing.
For 4 first years on a 3-year deck operations course, there are high hopes.
I would like to make my way up to captain within the next 10 years.
My ultimate goal is to have a master's ticket to sail any ship in the world.
At the moment, I'd like to be a captain. That's what I want to do.
This is the career that I want to follow, so I would be really, really disappointed if it didn't work out.
These new recruits are working towards 3 months training on a massive container ship. Suzanne Kelly and Nicola Whelan are in Southampton.
I've got no idea what's going to happen, what kind of situations you're going to encounter on board. It's something a bit different. I couldn't envisage myself sitting in an office or any other kind of 9-to-5 job for the rest of my life.
Nicola has no previous experience at sea, but Suzanne has sailed on tall ships.
I love being at sea. That's why I wanted to join the Merchant Navy. I've done it sort of on tall ships and not very much compared to, you know, obviously a big salty sea dog who's been away for years and years and years. But when I thought about all my options, I couldn't imagine not being at sea.
Fire safety is a crucial part of training. The girls are learning the skills to stop fire spreading on a ship at sea.
OK then, 2 volunteers. 1, 2, 1 on this extinguisher here. Charge it, test it, and away you go. Go on, quicker.
The thought of a fire at sea does scare me. It's like there's no emergency services, no one's going to come to your rescue. You know, you have to sort it out yourself, and then if it does all go wrong, you know, the ship will sink.
Suzanne is from the Wirral near Liverpool. At 24, her previous experience at sea has given her a lot of confidence. Despite this, she's taking nothing for granted.
I'm going to go thinking like I've never been away before. It's a completely different ball game, so I like to think I'm quite open-minded about it, and I'm just really looking forward to taking in all the new stuff and obviously just being at sea.
Before 29-year-old Nicola from South Shields joined the Merchant Navy, she had a different career, but it didn't work out.
I studied for a physiotherapy degree. I finished that in 2005. I got a job working in a GP practice, just seeing people who had bad backs and bad necks, and then unfortunately I was made redundant.
She thinks this is her last chance to get into a solid profession.
This has got to be the career for me now, because I'm at an age where I really should be getting my own place to live, settling down a bit more. As far as I'm concerned, it's going to work.
500 miles away in Glasgow, fellow students Callan McQuarrie and Craig Dwan are also working on their sea survival skills.
Connor, will you let go of the grates, please?
Yep.
A love of the sea is a major influence on these lads' choice of career.
My father was the skipper of quite a few fishing boats, and he loved the sea, and I spent some time on fishing boats myself, and there's always been a history of people going to sea in my family.
Craig is 23 and lives near Peterhead. According to Dad Willie, their family's sea obsession spans centuries.
Well, the great uncles that I knew were all fishermen. My great-granddad was the oldest person that was on the Titanic.
Lost at sea then?
Yep, but that's no a habit that you need to continue with.
Well, I'm sure plenty more that came home safe. So
Oh yeah.
it's very much in my blood to be at sea.
You don't have blood, you have salt water running through your veins.
18-year-old Callan's love of the ocean comes from growing up on the weather-beaten Western Isle of North Uist.
I'm from a seafaring community, and I just thought the Merchant Navy was a good opportunity to see the world, travel, and there's good career prospects as well.
He's the baby of the group, but Callan thinks an upbringing surrounded by water puts him ahead of the game.
I think being an islander gives you an advantage. You're going to see a close-knit community, so you're used to working with small groups of people. Just being surrounded by the sea, a knowledge of it, and how powerful the sea is, because a lot of people take the sea for granted, but it's a very powerful force.
This lifeboat is similar to one used on a container ship.
Off you go.
When Callan and Craig make deck officers, they'll be responsible for safely evacuating everyone on ship.
OK, Craig, if you want to come up. We're going to go in a port turn now. That's good.
Although I love being at sea, this side of things is more for me. It's more kind of routine and more structured, and there's a lot more stability in the shipping industry than in the fishing.
Our whole course has been talking about sea, and I just want to get there and see it. I've never kind of done a long-term trip on a ship like Craig has, so I'm looking forward to seeing how I'll cope with that.
Bring it in a stern now. Just tuck this out, clutch it through.
Steering a big container ship will be a lot different to steering a wee thing like this.
Back in the classroom at Southampton, Suzanne and Nicola are about to face their next firefighting challenge: to put out a dangerous blaze in a smoke-filled hothouse while wearing breathing apparatus.
Do not attempt to remove your face mask when you're in there this afternoon. The first breath will make your eyes sting and the back of your throat burn. Most people don't get as far as the third breath.
The hothouse is a steel structure replicating a ship. A fire lit inside creates heavy smoke and heat.
It's real. It's dangerous.
They must make their way through the blinding conditions to safety in teams.
Who's team leader then?
That's me.
Oh, yeah, right. You're going to have to rely on touch and your hearing. Okay, lots of talking.
Everyone ready? Go on now.
If this was a fire on a ship, their only way out would be through the smoke. And if there were casualties, they'd have to rescue them.
Once that door's shut, you're in complete blackness. Panic sets in a little bit.
You can't see a thing in front of your face. My mask steamed up at one point, so I couldn't see my gauge, and I was thinking, oh God, I can't see anything, and then someone's wiped their hand across my face.
Suzanne's team tackles the fire head on, but it's Nicola who finishes the job.
I was thinking when I was in there, if this was on my ship, we'd all be really scared.
I think it's been really good and I've learned so much today, and I feel that a lot more prepared now for going on ship.
But there's still a long way to go before Nicola, Suzanne, Craig or Callan will be ready to sail on a container ship. First, there are important exams to pass.
You always have that little bit inside of you thinking, oh, will I, or will I've totally messed it up.
Failure to make the grade and 3 months at sea could end up a pipe dream.
It would be really bad if at this point I've done all this work and then I don't get to sail.
The Merchant Navy keeps our island nation afloat by ensuring commercial trade, food and fuel arrives and leaves successfully by sea.
Practically everything that we need to exist in our daily lives these days has been on a ship at some time or another.
Training for the British Merchant Fleet begins at 9 UK colleges, including Warsash Maritime Academy in Southampton and Glasgow College of Nautical Studies.
Keep your legs straight and enter the water vertically.
New recruits Suzanne Kelly and Nicola Whelan are in Southampton, while Craig Dwan and Callan Macquarie are in Glasgow. All four want to become deck officers and are knee-deep in practical assessments and exams.
Coming up, we've got stability, cargo, and a whole bunch of other stuff.
They've been working on everything from navigation to charting routes. It's the halfway point of year one of a 3-year course. Passing their exams means they qualify for 3 months training on a giant container ship.
At the moment, I kind of comprehend how big the ship's going to be, but with most things that I'm scared of, I just kind of throw myself in and I'll do it.
For Callan and Craig, one of the toughest exams is navigational maths, so some major cramming is required.
I'm a wee bit nervous. There's a lot of pressure in the course. The amount of exams we have kind of shows what life's going to be like when we're working at sea.
Exams by nature make you feel nervous. There's an awful lot to do and not an awful lot of time to do it in.
Studying may seem a drag right now, but should the systems break down whilst out at sea, understanding navigation is key to getting the ship safely back to port. Now time to put all their work into action.
Easy.
Here we go, yeah?
Afternoon, folks. You should ensure that you have no illicit materials on your person or anywhere else on your desk.
Clear to start.
The girls have more practical challenges. They're making ropes, vital for mooring a ship. If a rope breaks at sea, they'll have to be able to fix it.
Yeah.
Without ropes, ships don't work. What keeps a ship alongside the jetty? Ropes.
Close your legs.
It's quite fiddly, but I think I'm getting there.
It can be a little bit confusing.
Suzanne and Nicola have formed a strong friendship since starting college.
We just clicked straight away. To meet someone who thinks so like me, it's quite spooky.
It's really nice to find someone that you can get on really well with and, you know, have fun with.
The girls could end up on different container ships for their training trip, so they're hoping to get the OK to stick together.
I think it'd be really funny if we went on the same ship. I think we'd have an absolute scream.
It would be really good, like, sharing the first experiences as well, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Next task, creating a painter's stage. This is a hoist used by crew to recoat the side of a ship. It's a tricky job, designed to test teamwork.
You go with somebody you trust. You go with your friend, not your enemy.
You're relying on yourself, like, to get yourself up there. You've got to trust your partner to hold you there.
Steady, you're going to come off it. You'll get up too high.
If you don't do it right, you fall, basically, so it's good to practice here.
In the Glasgow exam hall, the minutes are ticking by and the boys are under pressure.
A lot of the maths, it's been difficult. It doesn't come naturally to me. I have to work hard at it.
I've just come out of school, so the studying's quite easy to me. I've been used to it. Whereas Craig's been out fishing on the trawlers, so I think it's a bit of a shock to the system for him.
There's an added stress. The college can keep students back from their first sea voyage if they don't pass their exams satisfactorily.
I try not to think about it, and so I'm going to do everything that I can to pass these exams and go to sea.
It would be really bad if at this point I've done all this work and then I don't get to sail.
The strain of exams isn't over in Southampton either. The girls have sat all their papers, but still have one result to get back: maths.
Everything requires mathematical calculations. You use trigonometry a lot, working with angles. It's just a thread that runs through everything we do here.
You can still mess it up on the day, so there's always a little bit of will I, won't I, you know.
If Nicola and Suzanne pass, they'll definitely go to sea.
I've got 88. Quite happy with that. It's my third 88. Must be my lucky number.
Got 94%. Oh, that's good. That'll do me.
Yeah.
We're good to go to sea now, so it's nice.
Things aren't looking so good up north. It's just over an hour into their exam and only Callan, Craig and a few friends remain. Not a good sign.
Wasn't easy at all. If I've passed, it'll be scraping by.
I'm trying to brace myself for a fail, actually. Not entirely confident, so we'll just see how it goes.
While the boys await their results, Suzanne and Nicola have gone home to be with family and friends.
I'm here. Cheers, Suzanne.
Cheers.
Exciting adventures ahead.
Cheers.
There are worries for Mum Joyce.
I am obviously very proud of her, but it is a career that isn't without danger. But nevertheless, I have to weigh that up with the fact that she'll be doing a tremendous job and a job that she absolutely loves.
I'll miss my bed. I love my bed, it's so comfy.
Don't worry.
She'll also miss sister Alex.
My sister's my best friend, definitely. We get on like a house on fire.
So how many countries do you think you'll be going to? 4, 5,
10?
So that's 5 to 10 presents that you're going to get me.
We've always gotten on, you know, despite, you know, the teenage years and things like that.
I'm made up for her, really pleased. I'm all for roles as well that, you know, girls don't really go on. So it's girl power.
Since being at home, Suzanne and Nicola have found out they will be on the same container ship.
Being with Suzanne's going to have quite a few bonuses in situations where you might be getting homesick, anything like that. It's going to be nice to have someone who knows you quite well and you can just chat it through and chat yourselves up a little bit.
Being away from college has given Nicola a lot of thinking time.
I'm getting a little bit worried, like, what if I can't manage? What if it doesn't all go to plan? Probably the major thing I'm most apprehensive about is actually the first day joining the ship. Just walking up the dock and seeing it there, or thinking, what happens now?
But best friend Laura thinks Nicola will give it her best shot.
Oh! It is a big career change from what Nicola used to be doing. She's going for it and she's setting her mind what she wants to do with her life now, and this is it.
In Glasgow, it's a big day for Callan and Craig. They're about to get their exam results.
Okay, 85%, congratulations. It's a good pass there, okay.
I am very, very happy. Didn't expect that at all. And to get such a high mark, I'm delighted.
Feeling slightly apprehensive about the results. Not too sure.
Right. Somewhat unfortunately, 42%. Didn't have a very good time with it. Better luck next time.
Yeah, I'll get there.
Fair enough.
Right, thank you.
Okay.
Pretty gutted, but get another crack at it.
Two weeks later, Craig was allowed to resit the exam. If he passes, he can go to sea with Callan.
OK, Craig Dwan,
Yo.
you passed.
Yes. That's me. Can definitely go to sea now. That's a huge weight off my mind.
Craig and Callan will join Nicola and Suzanne on the Gateshead. This ship is the length of 2.5 football pitches and carries 4,300 containers.
There she is.
Free from exams and back home in Peterhead, Craig shows his family the ship's route.
Hold on. Here's the important bit that tells me where I'm going. I arrive in Miami.
Florida.
Very nice.
Where it is.
Through the Panama Canal, across the Pacific, Japan, China, Taiwan. Is there any fatherly advice you would give me about my trip?
Don't get off the boat until it's in the harbour.
18-year-old Callan faces the longest journey of the four. He's leaving from his island home of North Uist. Ahead of him lies a 4,000-mile trip to Miami.
Sad times, but it's a new beginning, fresh start, so positives, negatives, but looking forward to it.
Saying goodbye to Carl be very hard. At the moment I'm not thinking about it, but I'm glad he's doing what he wants to do, so.
Leaving the island is also quite hard, because there's so many people here that I know. But if I want to further myself, kind of good career and all that, I have to leave the island anyway. That's fine. Saying goodbye will be quite tough. They don't want to see that I'm sad. If they feel that I'm not happy about going away, it'll kind of get to them more, but if I kind of stay strong, and my mum will know that I'll be fine. The thing I'm most looking forward to, I think, is looking out and seeing ships all over the horizon, being miles away from everywhere.
Next time on the Merchant Navy, Miami, and the new start see their ship for the very first time.
It's a lot bigger than I thought it would be, and also a bit scarier looking.
Then straight into life at sea, but they'd better watch out for the captain's ruthless inspections.
Whose cabin's this? It's clean on top of your picture now, because it's all on my finger.